I'm starting this project with this birch blank. It's 15 inches in diameter, 2.5 inches thick, and I've mounted it on a 10-inch faceplate. I don't remember what this wood is anymore. It's either birch or maple, and I made it myself here in the shop. I used hot glue to hold it down to the blank, and I got lots on there, so this should be a big enough faceplate with enough glue to get this turning. So I guess I better go put it on the lathe, and I hope you'll join me over there. I want to make a recess for my jaws of my larger chuck. I need a 3¼ inch opening, so I'm going to go slightly over 3 3/8, which means I need to mark this at half of that, which is 1 11/16. Just mark this here. And now I will use my parting tool and a square scraper to clean that out. I think that's about as good as I'm going to get this with turning tools, scraping tools. So I'm going to sand this off camera and I'll be back. Oh, that is just gorgeous. I love that. I want the bottom of this to be natural looking birch. The top, the inside, I have different plans for. Now it's time to reverse this into the chuck and do the other side. All right, just want to put this reversed on this chuck now. Jaws in expansion mode. Tight, but hopefully not too tight. It would split the wood. Let's see. Running pretty true. I have never had trouble taking hot glue off using isopropyl alcohol before today, but this is a different type than I've used before. And it's proving to not want to break down like this other stuff does. So I am going to bring my tailstock up with the live center and a cone in there to hold it so this doesn't go flying, and I'm going to turn this off. And that should just about do it, I think. There we are. All right. Whole lot quicker. Now I just need to turn this, and later I will put this faceplate back on and turn all of this again so it's nice and clean on the outside. All right, time to start turning this. I put all my shavings and sawdust in the green box for composting, so I want to get this hot glue off of here first. I'm sure they wouldn't appreciate that in the green box. Okay, now I can start working on this surface. Now I want to make sure I don't have my gouge skating across that surface, so I want to make sure that I have the flute closed, in other words straight up and down, until I get a bit of a gouge there so I can turn it and follow it in, turning at 1000 RPM. Well, it sounded like it was cleaner cutting out here. Yes, all right. That's going to need a little bit of tuning up, but I can start from this area. All right, I just honed the edge a little bit. I want to see how that'll work coming in here. Still a little bit rough, actually. All right, we'll take care of that after I get some of this turning further in. I just want to do a quick test with my beading tool to see how it's going to work on this wood. Some woods bead a lot better than others do, so I want to see what's going to happen with this. Well, that's looking pretty good. I think I can live with that. Clean this up, I'm just going to do some shear scraping. I've switched to my 1/2-inch bowl gouge so there's less vibration in the shank. All right, this bowl is almost exactly 15 inches in diameter. And I think I want the bowl to be about 7. So I'll come over 3.5. Mark the circle there. And I'll keep cleaning up till just before that line. I finished the outside edge of this a little more than 1 inch in because I do not want to come back to this area once I finish in here. Although this is not real thin, once I start to remove this mass, this could tend to vibrate a little bit and I don't want to be out there working on it. So now I want to come in and make a mark just a little over 3/4 of an inch from the edge. So this area out here is not going to be touched again, and now I'm going to start working from here in. I have used my pencil while it was running just to darken this a little bit. Now when I'm using my beading tool, once it gets to the point where the rounded bead has removed that coloring, I will know that I have a rounded top on my bead. So now I'm going to turn this at 1000 RPM and let's just see what this beading tool is going to do. Alright, that's nicely rounded and it's not got any chip out, so I just got to carry on with the rest of it. Alright, I'm a little over 7 inches. I want to be 7 inches on the bottom of this. I'm sure I've mentioned before that scrapers are not my favorite tools, but sometimes you got to use what will do the job. Alright, I'm going to sand all this now off camera and then I'll be back. I have all of this sanded now to 400 and I'm quite pleased with the shape and everything. I'm not so pleased with the beads. I don't know if it'll show up, but there is some chipping and I really can't do anything about it. If I try sanding that, I'm going to change the shape of the beads, which I don't want to do, so I'm pretty much stuck with that chipping. Now my next step, I'm going to put sanding sealer on all of this. I don't think I'm going to put it on the beads because if I do, I'm just going to end up not being able to sand it off and it can leave quite a film. So I'm going to try my next steps without any sanding sealer on these areas with the beads. So I'll put sanding sealer on here and sand that and then I'll be back. I have finished this area with the Axe abrasive paste and polishing paste, and I've left this bare. Now I'm going to put a piece of masking tape on here so I can mark the center without marking the bottom of the bowl itself. Let's see. Right. Now from there, I want to make another mark. I've cut this piece of cardstock to 3 5/32 of an inch. Just get a mark there. And run that mark all the way around. All right. And the reason I did that is that I drew this up in a drawing program called Inkscape. And I want to put that in here. And I don't want the center of this marked. I'm going to put some transfer paper behind this and then mark this in the bottom of this bowl. But before I do that, I'm going to take this off the lathe and put some, I think this is called Procyon or Procyon mixed MX dye. This is a chocolate brown. I want to put it into these beads. So I'm going to take it off the lathe so it's laying flat so it doesn't run all over the place, and just dye these beads. So I'll take this off and go take care of that right now. Now I did not measure the dye to water ratio. I have no idea what it is. I just put lots of powder in and filled that up with water. Now I just want to try to coat it on here evenly. I'm a little concerned with whether this will blotch since I did not use sanding sealer. But nothing ventured, nothing gained. I seem to use that a lot in my life. So it's going to take me a little time, get it all done, and then I'll be back to show you these results. I have the carbon paper on the back now. I just want to try to get this as close to the center, that line, as I can. I think that's pretty good right there. Yep, keep moving around. I'll just put a few pieces of masking tape to hold it. Which is not going to stick to this polish probably. There we go. All right. Now, just to slowly draw these because I'm very shaky. And when I have them all drawn, I'll be back to show you the result. All right, unless I have missed some of the lines, I should be ready to see what this looks like. Well, they're very faint, but they are there. And this is where my shaking is really going to show up. So I want to go around with my pyrography pen, do the outside circle and all these other lines. All right, this is called the medium skew tip. This is tricky, trying to get the light the right angle so I can see what I'm doing, and I'm probably blocking your view. But when I'm finished, I'll be back to show you just how badly I screwed this up. Luckily, that line is not written in stone, so if I'm off a little, it's not going to matter. Just want to try and make a nice smooth arc. I think that'll work. I will carry on with this and show you what I come up with when I'm finished. Well, as you can see, these circles that printed out round from the computer are definitely not round, but I guess I should just be happy there aren't any square corners in there. Not too bad, really. So now I have to go on to the next one. This tip is known as the writing tip, and I simply want to darken some of the areas in here. I'm just going to make a whole bunch of dots. And this is going to take some time. I'll be back to show you the results when I've finished. I put this back on the lathe just to add that second pencil line, just to give me something to make sure I'm getting straight, even line here. Well, I'm fairly pleased with this. I don't have a lot of experience with the pyrography pen, so this is not pristine, but it's getting a little better each time. Oh, thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you'll come back next time. I want to say a big thank you to my subscribers, and if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. It helps my channel out. So, between now and next time, when I hope you'll come back, have a great day in your shop, and be safe. Take care now.